right, on to the next recipe. This one requires maybe a little bit more work than your green bean salad, but you'll have the time if you're doing the green bean salad. And we're featuring, this is an ingredient that has a very short window. Does anyone know what this is? Yes, yeah, so it's pretty easy. I can't trick you guys. So this is actually green garlic. So green garlic, the only difference is it's a young garlic. So the actual bulb hasn't developed into those cloves yet. The husk on the outside hasn't dried. So you can use actually the entire thing. It has a milder garlic flavor. It's garlicky, but almost refreshing. It hasn't developed that heat yet that you get from a mature garlic. And what's lovely is, and you can find these at the farmer's market, some grocery stores might have it, you can use the entire plant. So the bulb is great to consume in dressings. The rest of the plant, wash it up, amazing for stocks, like incredible for stocks. It adds a ton of garlic flavor. So that's what we're gonna be using in this recipe. If you can't get the green garlic, use regular garlic, just use less of it. So I think I put 2 bulbs of the green garlic, which are kind of small. Add about 4 cloves of regular garlic for this. So we're gonna start off with sort of a dressing. This green garlic dressing is gonna be full of flavor. So Chris, if you don't mind, this is some parsley. We're just gonna add some fresh herbs in there.
Yum.
And some mint as well. Can you just pluck off those leaves? I love mint and parsley together.
We
Very
were talking
refreshing.
before we started about what's the easiest thing to grow in your house, or if you're a bit of a gardening newbie, herbs are a great place to start. They're pretty easy, especially mint, I find, just grows like wildfire and takes over.
Yeah, grow it in a pot, the mint.
Yes, put it in a pot or it'll take over your garden. But even if you are condo or apartment living and you just have a windowsill, you can definitely make some herbs or grow some herbs there.
So the herbs in, the garlic, I'm just gonna roughly chop.
What I love about this is I love garlic, but sometimes I'm lazy about peeling it. But with the green garlic, look how easy it is. You don't have those separate cloves developed yet.
Yeah, and again, this is not an everyday ingredient. You're not gonna find it all the time, but I do encourage you, go to your farmer's market. We have one at Sick Kids on Tuesday. That's actually where I got this. And City Hall on Wednesday. There's a site, I believe.
Every day of the week, you'll be able to find a farmer's market. We're so lucky in this city.
So green garlic goes in. We're gonna add some zest and juice of a lime.
Yeah.
I know Christy knows how to do this, so I'm just gonna get you to zest the lime. Now the lime zest, any sort of citrus zest we love using, wash the citrus really well, but it has all those essential oils of the fruit. It just perfumes your entire dish.
And this is great if you're going through chemotherapy or if you're having radiation to your head and neck area and you have a sore mouth, then sometimes you can't tolerate the acidity of citrus fruits. But you can still have the zest, and that will give you the flavor without that acidic property.
Now I put in there as an option, I'm adding a little bit of jalapeno. If you like it with a little bit of a bite, definitely do it. If you don't add it. But one great thing about the jalapeno is if you take out all the seeds and all the white part, all that vein there, that's where most of the heat is. So you actually take off a considerable amount of heat and you just have this sort of fruity, peppery flavor after. And with all the rest of the ingredients, especially with the mint, you really don't get the heat at all, which is nice. If you do like the heat, leave the seeds in. But otherwise, I'm gonna take them out. And one trick with peppers, they vary in heat. So if you like maybe a little bit of heat, or if you're serving it to someone and you're afraid of, knocking them off their seat, one thing I do suggest is actually cut off a little piece and try it first. That's the only way that you're gonna be able to tell how hot it is, right? So
Wait a few minutes.
when the steam comes out, and this is actually pretty mild. It's not that hot at all. So I know, okay, I can use 2 small pieces in this whole batch and I should be okay.
You guys
Until I'm
can let him
sweating
know.
from
He's overdone it
Yeah.
on the heat. And hot chilies, hot peppers, jalapenos are all fantastic. They're being investigated as potential cancer-fighting foods. And some research too, looking at whether they can boost metabolism. So that heat that you feel, you can burn an extra 100 calories a day. Woohoo!
I feel lighter already.
Adding a little bit of heat to your meals.
So we're gonna add that lime juice as well in there. I'm actually gonna add a little bit more lime juice. So depending on the lime, I would say try to get about 3 tablespoons or so. So I'm gonna go about half more in there, so it blends. Perfect. And Chris, if you don't mind, just about a tablespoon of olive oil. Perfect.
Right.
Lime juice in. We'll add a little pinch of salt, a little bit of black pepper at this point. And this is super fresh.
Oh, it smells amazing.
That's it.
Is it hitting you guys yet? All the herbs and lime.
And pulse just until up. Yeah. I don't want it to turn into sort of like a puree. I still want it fairly chunky.
Like that? Keep going.
Actually, open it up a little bit.
Give it a stir.
Yeah, we'll just scrape down the sides. We'll give it one more. But because the green garlic is a little milder, I can use this as a marinade to actually cook. I can use it fresh to finish a dish at the end, and it won't be too overpowering. That's perfect. Fantastic.
All right.
Thank you. So we are using chicken thighs here today. These are boneless, skinless chicken thighs. You can do it with chicken breast as well.
Chicken thighs tend to be less expensive. They're higher in fat than chicken breasts, so depending on your goals, both excellent source of protein.
So we're gonna add this wonderful dressing on top. Do you mind actually adding the rest and save half at the end to actually dress it at the end?
Save half?
Or that whole thing. That's half of it. So I put half on the chicken, half in the glass there.
Oh, sorry.
So the whole thing, yeah. So this is gonna go over top of the chicken. And if you have time, you can even put this on top and leave it overnight. This is a great sort of advanced marinade.
Acid from the doesn't cook.
It'll be okay. There's not a lot of lime juice in there. It'll help to tenderize it a little bit. With more delicate proteins like fish, yeah, I would only go probably 10, 15, 20 minutes max because it will start to cook the protein. Yeah, end up with a different dish. So that goes on there. Super flavorful. And now the sauce. So I'm just gonna use the same thing because I don't mind some of the garlic in there. And for the sauce, we're doing an ancho chili sauce. So ancho chilies are dried chilies or dried poblano. The fresh chili is the fresh pepper is the poblano. The dried version is the ancho. And it's a mild pepper. There's no heat at all. You get a lot of smokiness. You get a lot of flavor when it's dried. And it is an incredible ingredient to add to dishes because you're adding a ton of flavor, and it's a very inexpensive ingredient as well. So all you have to do is remove the seeds and the stem, cover it with some warm water, and let it steep for like 5-10 minutes, just until it gets nice and soft, sort of hydrates. And we're gonna add all this to the food processor. I'm gonna add about a cup, a little bit more of that water that it was steeping in. It's got a ton of flavor. And then some spices. So oregano, dried, that goes in, and some cumin, ground, really, really nice. So we have this sort of like a Mexican thing going on here. Really, really flavorful. And tomato paste is the last thing, which is gonna give us umami. You got it.
Beautiful.
So we'll add about a couple tablespoons of that in there. Okay, we're gonna whiz this up, but I want you to wrap the food processor. This food processor has lasted us a while.
It has a temper.
It does have a temper.
It's okay, I'm wearing green.
I'll cover it. So I turn it on there. There you go. And it's just until it blends. And if you soak the peppers for at least 10 minutes, it should break down pretty easily. That's good. And that's it. And you have this very rich, deep red sauce.
These chilies are amazing.
So you can see how dark red it is. And it's just has a smoky, peppery flavor, no heat really at all. And that's gonna go over top. I'm just adding just a little bit more liquid just to get the rest of that sauce out of there.
Don't want to waste that chili goodness.
No, and the wonderful thing about this is it's a one dish, one pot meal. We're gonna add just some, I mean, you can add any vegetables you want. I like onions with this. You can add some fennel on top of this, some maybe bell peppers. So I knew that we were gonna have some hungry guests today. I made a bigger pot, but this is
oh my goodness,
what we're looking for here.
Still bubbling.
And at this point, you just take 2 forks, and that chicken thigh will just shred apart, and you just keep it in the sauce. And this is just full of flavor.
You can get some corn tortillas. This would be a great, taco night recipe.
Absolutely.
Jeremy's gonna do something a little different.
Yeah, so what we're serving it with is, and you're absolutely right, you can throw it on anything. We're gonna use plantains. So plantains, you have that laugh over there. We love plantains. It was funny because I'm like, okay, I know we don't grow plantains in Ontario, but Christy actually found out.
I was looking up all of our ingredients today, like what's the growing season, and then I saw plantains on this recipe and thought, okay, we definitely don't grow those in Canada. But I did some more research, and there is a farm in BC, in Abbotsford, that actually grows plantains.
So there you go.
So I thought that was interesting.
So with the plantain, all I'm doing is some diagonal cuts at about a 1/4 inch thick or so. Just like this. And you can bake these in the oven. Just put just a little bit of olive oil, dress them into the oven until they're nice and golden brown. I'm only doing a couple here, so I'm just gonna put them onto a pan. That's just a little bit of olive oil. And you just want to cook them for about 1 to 2 minutes per side. It does not take long at all. And this is, I would say, a lighter version than pulled pork for sure. So
absolutely.
If you did want something sort of barbecuey,
This would be a great Father's Day recipe.
there you go.
Manly meal.
Some of that on top. We'll take some of that sauce, that delicious sauce, on there as well. Ooh. And then some of that dressing as well. This is, again, full of flavor. Oh yeah, that's perfect. Full of flavor. Just on top.
Full of garlic nutrition.
And then if you wanted, they have a little bit of queso or feta, just a little bit. But that's it. That's our Ancho chicken plantains.
Super. All right.